What was it like that first day on set back as the character?
I actually felt very awkward, like I was wearing the wrong underwear or something.
With your return as Jean-Luc Picard, what do you feel you can add to the character now, or what are some elements you're excited to explore with the character now?
It's not so much what I can add to the character, but what the narrative can add to the character. And already we've had some serious surprises when Jean-Luc encounters them, have an impact on him. And these are experiences quite unlike any he would have had on the Enterprise. I suppose there was a certain expectation in the air. But then I reminded myself, because we did one scene in the studios at Santa Clarita, that's all. And then we went out to the wine country north of Santa Barbara for the rest of the week. So it was 2 hours on the set. And I had to make myself remember that the Jean-Luc of 17 years ago was still Patrick Stewart. And the benefit was that Jean-Luc wasn't the only one to have aged. I had. And so I could go hand in hand with that. And it very quickly became fun. There are things I can't do anymore. Jean-Luc could do everything. And instead now, sometimes just bending over is challenging. And so maybe he's become more human than he was before.
What the hell are you doing out here, Picard? Saving the galaxy?
And as we've seen in the trailers, Jean-Luc has a canine companion in the show, Pitbull, I believe, right?
The dog is actually named Dinero. I had asked for a pet. In the last few years, my wife and I have become obsessed with dogs, particularly pit bulls, who are very much a maligned breed, quite unfairly. So I said, I want a dog who's with me all the time, but it must be a pit bull. And one day they brought along Dinero, who is like 80 pounds, and those jaws that they have. But you know, all those jaws do is make their smile even bigger when they smile, which they do all the time. So Dinero hasn't had much to do yet, but I'm hoping we shall see him again.
Tell me how many lights you see.
There are 4 lights!
And then finally, after all this time, is it true that there are in fact still 4 lights?
There's not been a sign of a Cardassian in this first series, and they were the ones who put me through that particular torture. Although the principal torturer happened to be an English actor who I've worked with once, and who I admired beyond words, whose name is David Warner. So I forgave him for hanging me up by my wrists from the ceiling, because I was so proud that it was being done by him.